Hello and thanks for watching Best Maths Tutors. I'm continuing to go through the Edexcel Foundation Tier Paper 1 from 2018, and this is question 25, and it's a question about simultaneous equations. So we can see simultaneous equations is when we have two equations with two unknowns, and we can see in this case we've got x and y, and in order to solve them what we need to do is make the coefficients for the x's and the y's the same. So the coefficient means the number that's multiplying either the x or the y. So the coefficient in the first equation of x is 5, and the coefficient in the first equation for y is 1. In the second equation, we've got coefficients of 1 for the x and -3 for the y. So what we want to try and do is multiply either one or both of the equations so that the coefficient for either x or y is the same in both equations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the second equation here by 5 and times through every number in that by 5. So if I do that, I get 5 times x is just 5x. Then I've got 5 times -3y will give me -15y. And then I've got 5 times 9, and that will give me 45. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the other equation, which is the 5x plus y equals 21. I'm going to write that above there, 5x plus y equals 21. And because the signs here are both positive, I've got a +5 and a +5, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take away the second of these equations from the first equation. So I can say 5x take away 5x will actually cancel out. So they'll disappear. And then if I go y take away -15y, because of the rule that a minus and a minus actually make a plus, I end up with y plus 15y will give me 16y. So the next thing that I've got to do is take away the 45 from the 21. And if I do that, I'm going to get -24. Now I can find out what y is by just solving this little equation that we've got set up here. So I can divide both sides by 16. So there we go, divide both sides by 16. And that's because the 16s are going to cancel there. And that's going to leave me with y on the left. And I can simplify this fraction. So if I do, I can divide top and bottom of this fraction by 8, and what I'm going to get is -3 over 2, which is -1.5 if I convert it to a decimal. The next thing that I'm going to do now, I'm going to take this value of y and I'm going to substitute it into one of the original equations. So we can see we've got either the 5x plus y equals 21 or the x minus 3y equals 9. So I'm going to choose the second of these two equations because that looks slightly simpler because I've only got one x there. So if I do that, I'm going to have x minus 3 times -1.5 equals 9. So what we can see there is with the 1.5 there, the -1.5 in the bracket is actually the y value that we worked out just earlier. So then if I multiply out that bracket, I end up with x, and then -3 times -1.5 is actually going to give me +4.5, and that's equal to 9. And so what I end up with, if I take away 4.5 from both sides, I end up with x equals 4.5. So I've actually done the question now. I've found the values of both x and y. But what I might want to do is try and check it with the other equation. So since we used this one, first of all, to find the values of x and y, I'm now going to substitute the values we've found into this one and just check if we're right. So we can see if we put in the value of x, we've got 5 times the 4.5, and then plus and then it's just a 1y there, so plus minus 1.5, and we've got to see if that's going to equal 21. So as it says there, it equals 21. So we're going to see if it does. So 5 times 4.5 is going to give me 22.5, and then the plus and the minus together there just make a minus, so that becomes minus 1.5. And we can see if we do that, 22.5 take away 1.5 actually does equal 21. So that's correct, that's what we wanted, and that shows us that the values of y and x that we found were correct. So we can put them in. X is 4.5 and y is minus 1.5. So I hope that's been helpful, and if it has, please give us a thumbs up for the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.